We've asked the question twice now, and twice the answer has been not yet. Will the third time be the unfortunate charm? Charm can be unfortunate, can it not? I guess not. There's probably an inverse of the term. Bottom line is, will today be the day that this series ends? Time will tell. We have made it back to the conference final as defending Stanley Cup champions. Standing in our way now, the Toronto Maple Leafs, who have made their way past the Bruins and the Habs to this point. You know the team, you know the names, you know the faces, you know what's at stake. The dream of potentially ending this on a two-peat, although, God, if we were to win this, it's like, Jesus, do we sim another season? But we can't look that far ahead. This team has been magical since we've put it together, even, again, with the likes of Malkin and Dadonov declining. I don't know, now that we're fully healthy, kind of what is going to happen here, especially when you have someone like Alex Volkov, who's been as dominant as he's been. The thing is, though, someone like Nikita Kavanagh could afford to wake up. That would be cool. I wouldn't say this team's even firing on all cylinders, though, through the postseason thus far. We've been good enough, though, of course, even in the last episode, to sweep the New York Islanders. Time will ultimately tell whether or not we are able to keep this run going, and the sooner we find out, the better. Edmonton and Colorado on the other side. The final four are set. The question is, what does this team look like that currently stands in front of us? And this is the answer. All right. We start off with Jeremy Bracco, who has 10 points in their 12 games. Austin Matthews, 14 points. And Mitch Marner with 12. Marner, 7 years, $11 million. Matthews only making a hair under 9, a shade under 9 for 5 years. Jeremy Bracco, poor Austin Matthews. Jesus, he got shafted. Second line is Cam Morrison, 4 points in 12 games, 7 points in the 12 for John Tavares, and Ruslan Ishkakov. He's an Islanders prospect, that's all I know, and he's Russian, but I don't know how to say his name. Third line, Vinny Hinostroza, Alex Kerfoot, and Matthew Joseph. Fourth line of Mikhail Boedker at 37 years old, Frankie Vetrano, and Warren Foegele. So they have not had much secondary scoring outside of Kerfoot, who I imagine has power play time. They have been carried, although the offense, it's got to be good defense and goaltending. The offense isn't bad, though. Yeah, it's good defense. The top four is pretty good. Morgan Riley and Tyson Barrie, both of them still with the Leafs. We see Erasmus Sandin and Timothy Liljegren, Travis Dermott, and Jacob Larson. So, all in all, not bad. The goaltender for the Leafs at this point is Joseph Woll. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Okay. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be, wow. Are those NHL stats? Like, should he still be in their lineup? Is that due to injury? Wow. That was last year. 8 points in 10 games. He's not even playing. The Lucas Wallmark and Josh Hosang are there. It's a good team. It's not overly surprising to see them here. It is a bit surprising that their goaltender is playing so incredibly, lights out as compared to our goalie. We have the advantage in every aspect. 3 on offense, 4 on defense, 8 in goaltending, which really scares me now that I think about it, because, we should win this, and whenever the situation is we should win, we often don't. Although that was the case for the entire postseason. Provorov is our captain. Okay, he's just not our highest rated player. I wanted to double check that. Let's get down to business, shall we? For the final time in this series, we could be saying, Game 1, first period, let's do this. See what happens. First period, good start for the Russians. Sergachev and Svechnikov get 2 past Woll. Now here's the thing, We said this in the last episode with the Islanders. Hopefully, you know, our higher-rated goalie can outlast their lower-rated. That happened. It needs to happen again, and that's a damn good start. 2 goals on 12 shots for Sergachev and Svechnikov. Second period, good God, man. Kravtsov and a power play goal for Nikita Kavanagh. So, well on his way to potentially waking up. 24 shots to 16, 4-0 on the board. As we have an early power play here for Toronto. That goes to waste. And right now, things are looking good. We're not undefeated on home ice, but you look at our record at home in the postseason over the past couple of years, it's absolutely outstanding. As the Leafs with another late power play, they fail to convert. The third period is scoreless. The score holds. 4-0 final, a 28-save shutout for Yaroslav Askarov. And that is how you get a statement. You get a statement? You get a statement, a pre-written statement that's essentially just a giant middle finger to the Leafs saying, you want some? Come get some. John Cena in 2004. Yeah. Anyway, looking good. Tarasenko and Kravtsov did incredibly well. Nobody was a minus in that game. And again, Askarov was fantastic. And things are looking pretty good. But it is just one game after all. As the draft class, I have no concerns, of course, whatsoever. Let's get down to business. Game 2. Let's see if we can continue that stretch of home ice dominance. First period is scoreless. Okay, so the last 2 periods of play have been scoreless. 6 shots apiece. That's not too bad for us, at least not yet. Second period, it got bad. It didn't get horrible, but it got bad. Volkov with the power play goal. He can't stop scoring. Morrison ties it just over a minute later, and then Kerfoot strikes again less than a minute later. 2 goals in quick order. The Leafs with a 2-1 lead, 22 shots to 15 as we begin the third. So we're not out of it, but we really need our offensive production to step up here. We got to start getting shots on goal. We're doing just that. Again, the Leafs hold on. Power play for the Dynamo goes to waste, and John Tavares scores. Not good. The Leafs looking to be just the second team, I believe. Actually, the third. We lost to Winnipeg at home. Mikhail Bodker ices it. Wow. A tale of 2 games. It looks like we might have been good to go. That was not the case. Not at all. That is it. 4-1 final in favor of Toronto. Joseph Woll, 23 saves. John Tavares leading the way. Not good. Only 3 players with a point. And, yeah. That is, again, our top players letting us down. That's what that is, including Askarov. That's not great, and it does leave us the option of potentially being overreactionary. I don't think we're going to be. We're going to see if the team can bounce back, as really both games haven't been close. We'll see if that trend continues in Game 3. A loss here. Probably will debate some lineup changes. Let's see what happens. First period, 1 goal apiece. Alex Romanov and Alex Kerfoot with the goals. 13 shots to 9, so it's not a horrible situation to be in. Second period, good God. This series has been anything but predictable thus far. 2 goals for Tarasenko. 2 goals for Austin Matthews on Shesterkin. I was going to say Shesterkin. It's Shesterkin, really, but still. Our backup's in. We're tied at 3. 23 shots apiece, as even as it can get. That's insane. I don't think I've ever seen Tarasenko, Matthews, like players scoring like that. That's very bizarre. Early power play for the Leafs. 5-on-3, an extended 5-on-4. Jesus, we survived it somehow. Another power play for the Leafs, though. We survived that somehow as well. Under 8 minutes to go. The next goal is going to win this game at this rate. It's just a matter of for whom. The answer will be revealed in overtime. 35 shots to 32 in favor of the Leafs. No pressure, boys. No pressure. Let's see what happens. Who's gonna win it? Will it happen early? Who will take a 2-1 series lead? Austin Matthews completes the hat trick. The Leafs battle back to take a 2-1 series lead. That is incredibly frustrating, and will probably be the catalyst for some changes, as we're getting shut down by Joe Wall right now, and I am not a fan. 32 minutes for Askarov. Shesterkin ultimately allows 3 goals as he gets ripped apart by Austin Matthews. Now it looks like Askarov's going to be fine. He was just roughed up for the game. Both series have a 2-1 split right now. We are in a little bit of danger, and as a result, I'm not against taking a look at potentially changing things up here. Medvedev has just been far too quiet. Kavanaugh with 5 points, but defensively, he has been absolutely brutal. There's no way to put it. There's no other way to put it. I mean, he's probably been our worst player. He can't play defense right now. It's horrific. We're going to put Volkov ahead of Medvedev. I'm just going to sort this in terms of, like, hey, who's done the best for us? And I mean, Volkov is already pushing for a better spot. Michkov, not so much, man. That what was our third line at one point, now our most, frustrating group of players. As crazy as that is. Dodonov, we'll probably have him above Michkov still, but Korshkov and Volkov are due for an increased role, certainly. As Gino's going to be dropped a little bit too. Potentially kind of below Dadonov on the rankings here. It's tough to say. I just want to get a look at what the team would be if we kind of factor this in. Again, it's just been defensively for Gino. It hasn't been great, even though he's scoring goals. Barbashev, quietly with 9 points. I mean, doing incredibly well. He's going to stay right where he is. Svechnikov. Well, that is incredibly disappointing for Andre. I mean, we're looking at Volkov and Korshkov. If we were to go by these, just by this different look, we're looking at them being in a very interesting spot. That top line is going to stay the same. Although I have my doubts at times, but they have, undisputedly been our best players to this point. So if we were to go, not that I want to necessarily have certain people as low in the ratings as we do, but if we were to go with Korshkov, Barbashev, Volkov, Malkin, probably Dadonov, Svechnikov in terms of the wings, I mean, it is not exactly ideal, but we could roll with something like that. Now, obviously it's drastic because of who the hell's on the fourth line, but it's like, man, you're not getting it done at all. You're really not. Speaking of not getting it done, Mukhamadullin, I think we're going to drop him down. We're going to go Romanov, Zadorov, Alexiev, Mukhamadullin. The better shot, at least the more powerful shot, goes to Mukhamadullin. Of course, we have a lot of lefties. Zadorov can be there, and then Sergachev. Yeah, we'll stick with Sergachev for the sake of power. And in bottom line, Askarov's being outplayed by a 9 overall point weaker goaltender. This team has to step up. It shouldn't matter who's on what line, who's playing where, how much they're playing. Do your jobs and we'll win. You fail to win here, and this series is on life support. First period of Game 4, and not a great start. Mitch Marner gets the goal, 16 shots to 6. We are getting dunked on right now, and I'm not a big fan of it. Second period, scoreless. 30 shots to 12, as this team has just decided to roll over and die. We go to the third. We're apparently giving up. It's a 1-goal game. It's now tied. Igor Korshkov with the goal against his former team. Power play goes to waste. We're finally putting up shots, but John Tavares scores. Can't really blame Askarov in this one, but it's still frustrating. Make some saves, please. I mean, you have. It's fair. Can we score a goal, please? Are we going to get shut down? That's what's going to happen, huh? An 83 overall goal is going to outplay us. We're down 3-1. 3 straight victories for the Leafs. And we are pretty much dead in the water. Wow. That's how this series is going to end, huh? Just with a whimper. Just with a whimper. That's really unfortunate. Askarov was phenomenal. I don't blame him at all. But this team's just run out of gas. That's really the only way to sum it up. It really is. We've just apparently completely run out of gas. So considering that didn't work, I think we're going to go back in a way. We're going to try something. And we're going to just set this up kind of based on overall. And we're going to try to get the best players in the top spots to try and make something work here. It's really all we can do. So that can be the setup there. We'll actually swap Dadonov and Korshkov. No, we won't. I lied. That third line, top draws belong to Kavanov, so that works for me. Perfect. And then Michkov, Barbashev, Kaprizov. We're going to try to go with Michkov at center. That's it. That's going to be the team that we roll with. We are going to put our highest rated players in the best spots with the chance to succeed, with the exception of Alexiev, who of course we just want to try to see if he can get something going. Let's do it. The series is on the line in more ways than one. This could very well be the last game we see with the Russians. It looked like this series was going to go well for us, and ever since game one, we've played like a completely different team, and an 83 overall goalie has, he's done well enough. Let's see what happens. Can we keep this series against the Leafs alive? Can we keep this series in general alive? Let's find out. First period, 1-0 Toronto, 17 shots to 9. Here we go again. Second period, we're done. Done. Absolutely done. Fogle scores, Malkin gets one back, Kerfoot scores. We can't play defense. We can't keep the pucks out of our own goal, and we cannot put enough past wall. We started off so well. Korshkov scores again. It's going to be too little too late. We started off so well in this series as Joseph scores on the power play to make it a 2-goal game yet again. But ultimately, we ran out of gas. I mean, you look at the shot differential. We're getting crushed. Absolutely crushed. We're done. 7-2 is your final as Ishkakov scores 3 goals in less than 3 minutes. And that'll do it. Just like that, that abruptly, not off the back of a major triumph, but with a whimper. The Russians fall short of their goal to repeat, and as a result, we're not only bounced from the playoffs, but that's it. Super disappointing to have it go down that way, but again, this team just ran out of gas. Very disappointing, but ultimately, to look back on this series, I had a lot of fun with it. I had to run this series a little bit earlier than expected after the UDFA challenge simply didn't go anywhere because of the new chemistry system this year and the way that they nerfed the draft, which, you know, is fine. That is what it is ultimately. But overall, while, you know, you talk about Channel Hall of Famers or whatever, I really don't think anybody who's not on this roster right now has a good shot. Maybe Ovechkin. It took a while. We stuck to the plan that I implemented from the start, saying, hey, slow and steady, build to the draft, then strike, get guys like Svechnikov, Provorov, Sergachev. Everything went our way, and ultimately, it did lead to a Stanley Cup. Whether or not it would lead to more than one, we'd have to go further down the road, but of course, the new series are on the horizon. Yesterday, first episodes of the Kings and Blackhawks series. The Kings, of course, a little bit more straightforward, although I am looking for suggestions for that series. So check out that video if you haven't, and respond to the comments as well once you check it out and, you know, you kind of hear what I'm looking for. Same thing with the Chicago series, which is Milbury mode. If you don't know what that is, again, watch that quick little intro video. Again, looking for feedback in the comments. So check those videos out if you haven't already. They will be starting up very, very soon. The last step here with the Russians, though, it's to talk about the players that led the way. And ultimately, in the comments of this video, I'm looking for your suggestions on who could be a Channel Hall of Famer, if anybody. It's a pretty tough call, but let me know what you think, whether or not anybody should be or could be. I, overall think that there could be some decent shouts. Now, Svechnikov, he wasn't great in this postseason, unfortunately, but eventually he did turn into the player that we needed him to be. Tough to say 3 playoff runs that he's a Channel Hall of Famer, although what he did for us in the Cup run might ultimately be enough to secure that for him. He's at least in the Hall of Very Good. Vitaly Kravtsov, I mean, I think he almost has to be, right? He certainly has a good shot. I imagine you guys will nominate him. Playoff-wise, nearly a point per game. One hell of a player. Again, this year was arguably our best player in the postseason, but again, the players around him just kind of faltered. Vladimir Tarasenko, a lot of people were upset with my decision to get him when we did, but overall, I think he was a very crucial part, a very crucial piece to our success, especially in the Cup run year. Over a point a game. He was pretty damn good this postseason too, but obviously the team around him, it just didn't work out. Barbashev, I mean, for an unsung hero perhaps, although we sung his praises quite frequently, Barbashev, I imagine, will be on the voting as well. And of course, I'm going to take the suggestions from the 2 series that we had, put out a video where you guys can vote, and we'll see, again, who goes down as the players to, who goes down as the players to remember from these series. Barbashev, solid playoff run here, just, again, wasn't enough. Matvei Michkov was incredibly disappointing. Now, he's going to be the future of the team. He had a good rookie year, a great regular season. Last year in the playoffs, he was phenomenal on that third line. This year, though, he really sputtered out. So, I don't think he's likely to make it into the voting. If he does, I don't think he's likely to make it in. Just not enough of a sample size to really know what it was going to be with him. Kaprizov spent 4 seasons here. Phenomenal regular season numbers in the playoffs. I mean, aside from this year, he did pretty well for us, Nearly a point a game every single time. This year, though, just 1 goal. Incredibly disappointing from him. And arguably the biggest reason why we got bounced like we did. Alex Medvedev, same thing with Michkov. On this team, going to be a good player for us. Playoff-wise, though, not a big performer. So I think he has, he has a good chance if we were to continue this series to be good. I don't think he's Hall of Fame caliber, though. Same with Nikita Kavanagh. Again, Medvedev, Michkov, Kavanagh, these were the guys for us, but he was really good in the playoffs last year on that third line, but this year he disappointed. So, the future stars of the team, I think it's going to be that, the future stars, not ultimately Channel Hall of Famers. Alex Volkov was phenomenal this year. Just tremendous. Picked up on a whim. Pretty damn good in the playoffs this year as well. Maybe a cult hero. Don't know if he's necessarily a Channel Hall of Famer. Evgeny Dadonov, on the other hand, I mean, only spent 3 seasons here. Okay regular season numbers, but again, I mean, this year not so much, but last year, that postseason run, that third line is legendary. Evgeny Malkin. It's tough to say he isn't. 5 seasons here. Phenomenal numbers for the most part. A tremendous, playoff run last year as well. He has a decent shout. The fact that he stuck around for as long as he did is commendable. And then Igor Korshkov, spent the past 2.5 seasons here. Really good regular season numbers. Okay at times in the playoffs. I don't think he's quite at that level. Defensively, Provorov. I mean, only 4 seasons here, or 3.5 really, but what a difference maker ultimately, especially last year. He has a good shot. I don't know if he's quite Channel Hall of Fame worthy. Same with Sergachev, who was here, same amount of time. Tough to say, right? Just because it's like, okay, if anything, we'd be giving them it off of 1 cup run, but it was up to that Winnipeg series, about as dominant of a cup run as I've ever seen in terms of how well this team performed. Alex Romanov, very good player for this team. Don't quite think he's at that level. Same with Alexiev, you know, really for the bottom six in general. I'll give you guys a look at the career stats and everything. Ultimately, for these players, are they good enough for the Channel Hall of Fame? I don't know. Like, Nikita Zadorov was tremendous for us. Absolutely tremendous. Good enough to be a Channel Hall of Famer, though? Shakir Mukhamadullin would make it off of name value alone, but again, only 3 seasons here. It was pretty good in the playoff run last season. And then goaltending-wise, Yaroslav Askarov. It's a tough call. 914 save percentage through 5 seasons at the NHL level. 4 of them as our starter. In the playoffs, though, just a 916 save percentage. You know, here it's okay, bad, phenomenal, meh. So it's kind of tough to say. I mean, he was tremendous in the Cup run, but came up short on other attempts. So I think that's what makes it very difficult and very interesting when looking at this team and debating potential Channel Hall of Famers, is the fact that we really only had that one overly successful year, and every other year we absolutely fell short, as the Maple Leafs went on to win the Stanley Cup, because of course they did. I presume they beat Colorado. Let's take a look here. They did in 6 games ultimately. So we don't have to look at the Cup winning team. Award-wise, though, it was Toronto's 3rd Cup in 5 years, which is outrageous. We won the last 2 President's Trophies, won at least 1 Stanley Cup out of it. Individual awards, Dylan Holloway won the Art Ross and the Hart. Morgan Riley won his 3rd straight Norris and 4 in his last 5 years. Kyle Yamamoto won the Bing. I think that's Andre Molnar winning the Calder. Conn Smythe went to Matthews. Vasilevsky wins the Vezina. The Jennings went to Askarov and Shesterkin, which is pretty nice. The Selke to Sebastian Aho. Holloway wins to Ted Lindsay. And the Rocket Richard. So, with that, I bid you adieu. The Russian series comes to a close. Again, not with a bang, but on a whimper. But ultimately, a very fun series. We found success in another nation series, which again, isn't always a guarantee, even with really good teams. So overall, I'm very happy with this. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. And again, we are on to the next. Check out those videos if you haven't already done so. And of course, if you haven't already, drop a like, subscribe, check out everything in the description, the socials, the Discord, the Twitch, where we stream every single night, basically. And of course, the Patreon. I love you guys. Your generosity, of course, is so greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time, or, you know, with a new adventure. Take it easy.